Srila Vyasadeva, it is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Rama Rama.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Sradhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sradhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya.
Om Sradhyaya Namaha.
Om Surabhyaya.
Mukam karoti vachalam tvangom langayate girim yatkripa tamaham bhanje Shri Gurum Ganataram yatkripa tamaham bhanje Shri Gurum Ganatam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. We continue reading from the second canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 2, entitled The Lord in the Heart. And today we're reading text 25. Tad Vishva Abhim Tu Ativartya Vishnor Aniyasa Virajenat Manaikaha
Virajenat Manaikaha
Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upayati Kalpayusho Yad Vibuddha Ramante Tad Vishwanabhim Tvativartya Vishnor
Vishwanabhim Tvativartya Vishnu
Aniyasa Virajenat Manaikaha
Aniya Savira Jetnat Manakai
Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upayati
Namaskritam Brahmavedamupayate
Kalpayusho Yad Vibudha Ramante
Kalpayushoya Vibudharamante
Tad Vishwanabhim Tvati Bharatya Vishnor
Vishwanabhem Dvativartya Vishnur
Aniyasa Virajinat Manaikaha
Aniya Savira Jenat Manakaha
Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upayati
Namaskritam Brahmavedamupayate
Kalpayusho Yad Ramante
Kalpayushoya Vibudharamante
Tad Vishwanabhim Tvati Bhartya Vishnor
Tadvishwanabhim Tvativartya Vishnur
Aniyasa Virajinat Manaikaha
Aniya Savira Jenat Manaikaha
Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upayati
Namaskritam Brahmavedamupayate
Kalpayusho Yad Vibudha Ramante
Kalpayushoya Vibudharamante Tadvishwanabhim Tvativartya Vishnur
Tad Vishwanabhim Tvati Bhartya Vishnor
Aniya Savira Jenat Manaikaha
Aniyasa Virajinat Manaikaha
Namaskritam Brahmavedamupayate
Namaskritam Brahma Vidam Upayati
Kalpayushoya Vibudharamante
Kalpayusho Yad Vibudha Ramante Tat that Vishwanabhim
Vishwanabhim
navel of the universal personality of Godhead
Nepal of the universal personality of God
Two. But
but
Ativartya,
Ativartya,
crossing over. Vishnoho, of Lord Vishnu, the personality of Godhead. Aniyasa, due to mystic perfection. Virajena, by the purified. Atmana, by the living entity. Ekaha, alone. Namaskritam, worshipable. Brahmavidam, of those who are transcendentally situated. Upayati, reaches. Kalpa ayushaha, a period of my God, 4,300 million solar years. 4,300 million solar years. Yes, very good. Yat, the place. Vibuddhaha, self-realized souls. Ramante, do enjoy. Oh, the purport. It's okay. Translation with no purport by Divine Grace of the Prabhupada Ki. And this Shishumara is a pivot for the turning of the complete universe. And it is called the navel of Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The yogi alone goes beyond this circle of Shishumara and attains the planet of Maharloka, where purified saints like Bhrigu enjoy a duration of life of 4,300 million solar years. This planet is worshipable even for the saints who are transcendentally situated. Kindly repeat after me. This Shishumara is the pivot for the turning of the complete universe. And it is called the navel of Vishnu. Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The yogi alone goes beyond this circle. Circle, yeah. Of Shishumara. And attains the planet. Maharloka. Krishna. Where purified saints like Bhrigu enjoy a duration of life of 4,300 million solar years. This planet is worshipable even for the saints who are transcendently situated. So we go to text 26, since 25 has no purport. Atho anantasya vima atho anantasya mukha nalena anantasya mukha nalena dandayamanam saniriksha vishvam Niryati Siddheshwara Yustadhishnyam Yad Dvai Parardhyam Tad Uparamishyam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. At the time of the final devastation of the complete universe, the end of the duration of Brahma's life, a flame of fire emanates from the mouth of Ananta, from the bottom of the universe. The yogi sees all the planets of the universe burning to ashes, and thus he leaves for Satyaloka by airplanes used by the great purified souls. The duration of life in Satyaloka is calculated to be. Okay, let me try this here. God. Well, it's like 15,480 million years. Anyways, extremely long time. I guess it's called billion. That's billion, trillion. The purport. It is indicated herein that the residents of Mahaloka, where the purified living entities or demigods possess a duration of life calculated to be 4,300 million solar years, have airships, airship, by which they reach Satyaloka, the topmost planet of the universe. In other words, the Srimad Bhagavatam gives us many clues about other planets far, far away from us, which modern planes and spacecraft cannot reach, even by imaginary speeds. The statements of Srimad Bhagavatam are accepted by great acharyas like Sridhar Swami, Ramanujacharya, and Vallabhacharya. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically accepts Srimad Bhagavatam as the spotless Vedic authority, and as such, no sane man can ignore the statements of Srimad Bhagavatam when it is spoken by the self-realized soul, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who follows in the footsteps of his great father, Srila Vyasadeva, the compiler of all Vedic literatures. In the creation of the Lord, there are many wonderful things we can see with our own eyes every day and night. But we are unable to reach them equipped by modern materialistic science. We should not therefore depend on the fragmentary authority of materialistic science for knowing things beyond the range of scientific purview. For a common man, both modern science and Vedic wisdom are simply to be accepted because none of the statements, either of modern science or of Vedic literature, can be verified by him. The alternative for a common man is to believe either of them or both of them. The Vedic way of understanding, however, is more authentic because it has been accepted by the acharyas, who are not only faithful and learned men, but are also liberated souls without any of the flaws of conditioned souls. The modern scientists, however, are conditioned souls liable to so many errors and mistakes. And therefore, the safe side is to accept the authentic version of Vedic literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, which is accepted unanimously by the great acharyas. So this is some description of higher planetary uh, systems in the universe. Although this is in the second canto, there are more details, more elaborate details are given in the fifth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is especially dealing with the cosmology, how the whole um, material creation, in terms of its um, movements of planets, is going on or taking place. We get a little glimpse here of how uh, how great, how far are the different planets, etc., which is even by the greatest scientists of today very difficult, not possible actually, for them to know such details. But these details have been given 5,000 years ago by Srila Vyasadeva. And it was put into writing 5,000 years ago. It was known even before that. And it has, as Prabhupada points out also, it has been accepted by very, very great personalities we call acharyas. Acharyas are teachers. They are self-realized souls, number one. And secondly, they have um, accumulated immense material knowledge about the workings of this material world. Um, so Prabhupada points out how we cannot actually verify these numbers, uh, just like a common man also cannot verify what the scientists are explaining. Uh, they use all kinds of terminology and make all types of calculations, which for the common people is beyond their ability to understand. But we accept, generally, most people accept scientific knowledge. So in a similar way that common people accept modern day science, uh, Prabhupada points out that we should likewise mm, accept the version of the Vedas because it is presented and verified uh, by uh, by our previous acharyas who are very, very elevated and knowledgeable personalities. Uh, so that is why here in, here in our TOVP, Temple of Vedic mm, Planetarium, yeah, Temple of Vedic Planetarium, will be showing these different uh, planets in visual uh, presentation, the, the whole uh, material universe within the dome, the large dome of the TOVP will be displayed. So, uh, so it means Uh, Again, as Prabhupada points out, that since very, very long time, especially here in India, uh, information about the universe has been transmitted and it has been preserved in these pages of the Bhagavatam. Um, and, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also accepts the Srimad Bhagavatam. As a matter of fact, one of the uh, there are primary and secondary reasons for the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that are explained by our acharyas. So one of the uh, purposes of the Lord's appearance is to actually um, underline the importance of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it means that those who are actually serious to understand both spiritual as well as material subject matters should study the Srimad Bhagavatam. It means that actually the Srimad Bhagavatam, similar to the Bhagavad Gita, should be accepted as standard books of knowledge. Actually, in the Vedic system of education, these are the primary books of knowledge. They are containing knowledge which has been taught since time immemorial, and it is knowledge which is not changing, not like modern science. Modern knowledge, modern science, they are constantly adjusting their theories. It's based on theories largely, uh, and uh, and therefore such knowledge is actually of very little value because it is not perfect knowledge. It is changing knowledge. Um, so this is a special feature of Vedic literature, and of all the 18 Puranas that we are uh, having as part of the Vedic literatures, the Bhagavat Purana, so Bhagavatam is the Bhagavat Purana, is uh, the most uh, glorified of all the Puranas. Okay, we can continue here. Yeah, so 27, 627. Na yatra shoko na jara na mrityur
Yatra soko najara namitya.
na ratira na chodvegarite kutaschit
Nate na chodvega trite kutaschit.
yatschit tato da kripaya nidam vidam
Rachita toda kripaya nidam vidam.
duranta dukha prabhava nidarshana.
Duranta dukha prabhava nudarshana.
Translation purporting that planet of Satyaloka, there is neither bereavement nor old age nor death. There is no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties, save that sometimes due to consciousness, there's a feeling of compassion for those unaware of the process of devotional service who are subjected to insurpassable miseries in the material world. Report. Foolish men of materialistic temperament do not take advantage of successive authorized knowledge. Bhagavatam gives us authorized knowledge. The Vedic knowledge is authorized and is acquired not by experiment, but by authentic statements of the Vedic literatures explained by bona fide authorities. Simply by becoming an academic scholar, one cannot understand the Vedic statements. One has to approach the real authority who has received the Vedic knowledge by disciplic succession, as clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2. Lord Krishna affirmed that the system of knowledge, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita, was explained to the sun god, and the knowledge descended by disciplic succession from the sun god to his son Manu, and from Manu to King Ikshvaku, the forefather of Lord Ramachandra. And thus the system of knowledge was explained down the line of great sages, one after another. But in due course of time, the authorized succession was broken, and therefore, just to reestablish the true spirit of knowledge, the Lord again explained the same knowledge to Arjuna, who was a bona fide candidate for understanding due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, as it was understood by Arjuna, is also explained, Bhagavatam 10, Bhagavad Gita 10, 12, and 13. But there are many foolish men who do not follow in the footsteps of Arjuna in understanding the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. They create instead their own interpretation, which are as foolish as they themselves, and thereby only help to put a stumbling block on the path of real understanding, misdirecting the innocent followers who are less intelligent, or the Shudras. It is said that one should become a Brahmana before one can understand the Vedic statements, and this stricture is as important as the stricture that no one shall become a lawyer who has not qualified himself as a graduate. Such a stricture is not an impediment in the path of progress for anyone and everyone, but it is necessary for an unqualified, understanding of a particular science. Vedic knowledge is misinterpreted by those who are not qualified brahmanas. A qualified brahmana is one who has undergone strict training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. The Vedic wisdom guides us to understanding our relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna, with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and to acting accordingly in order to achieve the desired result of returning home back to Godhead. But materialistic men do not understand this. They want to make a plan to become happy in a place where there is no happiness. For false happiness, they try to reach other planets either by Vedic rituals or by spacecraft. But they should know for certain that any amount of materialistic adjustment for becoming happy in a place which is meant for distress cannot benefit the misguided man, because, after all, the whole universe with all its paraphernalia will come to an end after a certain period. Then all plans of materialistic happiness will automatically come to an end. The intelligent person therefore makes a plan to return home back to Godhead. Such an intelligent person surpasses all the things. Yes. Mm. Such an intelligent person surpasses all the pangs of material existence, like birth, death, disease, and old age. He is actually happy because he has no activity, no anxieties of material existence. But as a compassionate sympathizer, he feels unhappiness for the suffering materialistic men, and thus he occasionally comes before the materialistic men to teach them the necessity of going back to Godhead. All the bona fide acharyas preach this truth of returning home back to Godhead and warn men not to make a false plan for happiness in a place where happiness is only a myth. So this conviction one must gain. We must come to that conviction that there is no happiness to be found in the material world. It is all uh, chapala sukha, yeah, flickering happiness. Real happiness, which is the natural hankering, the very strong inner and profound desire of every living entity, is to be uh, is to be happy all the time, not just sometime. So that full and complete happiness by whatever pursuit we may undertake, by whatever experience we may have in the material world, mm, by wherever we may travel. Uh, and there are so many uh, in in the world of music and uh, cinema. So many songs are there explaining how we cannot find happiness in the material world. This is true. So this message is being given here that actually um, over the centuries, all great uh, acharyas, saintly persons, and all of the Vedic literatures, not only Vedic literatures, other scriptures as well, um, are giving the same explanation that it is futile to uh, endeavor for material pleasure, uh, as pointed out by Srila Prabhupada, in a place where it is destined, uh, this material world is uh, destined to be a place of suffering. It is referred to as Mrityu Loka, place of death, where there is repeated uh, birth and death. And the very fact that we have this material body means that it is a cause of so much uh, material suffering. So therefore, the uh, goal and objective is to prepare ourselves, cultivate transcendental knowledge to to go back home, back to Godhead. So uh, this is being conveyed here. Yeah. Okay, a lot of competition this morning. Big event. So we will close for now. Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Sri Prabhupada ki Gaur Premanandi.